Expert who called fall of Lehman Brothers in 2008 collapse makes shocking prediction on California. Is it shocking though? we've we've watched the decline of California for years now. But Robert Kawasaki, uh, Kawasaki, the guy from Rich Dad Poor Dad. If y'all haven't read that book, I definitely recommend y'all read it. He's the one that comes out and talks about this. It's shocking, but it's not shocking. We've seen, like I said, we've seen the decline of California. Newsom, in particular, has destroyed California, and the funny part is they're trying to pretend like these things aren't happening, like these companies aren't fleeing and people aren't fleeing California because of bad policy. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. Also, check me out on X, where I post tons of news on X as well. All right, so let's talk about this news now. This comes from the Gateway pundit Jared Harris by way of the Western Journal, and he reports that it's time to cash out of California while the times are still good. Are they good though? At least that's what you should be doing if the prediction made by financial expert Robert Kawasaki sounds likely. Kawasaki made a name for himself in 2008 after correctly predicting that the fall of a global investment bank, Lehman Brothers, a full 5 months before the institution shockingly collapsed. Like 2000, no one believed that was going to happen. No one saw that happening except for him. More recently, he called growing trouble in the bond market and banks tied to it last year. Quote, California is a bellwether state, Kawasaki wrote last week on the social media platform X. That means what happens in California happens to the rest of the U.S. The problem is California is going broke, Kawasaki continued. California will begin raising taxes higher than what they already are. The taxes in California are already high. And cutting subsidies to the poor, to prisons, environmental programs, and teachers unions. That means crime will spread as police will be cut. And crime is already out of control. So he's saying it's going to get a hell of a lot worse than what it already is right now in California. Kawasaki appears to again be correct on the general downward trend California is chasing. The Golden State's desperate situation has hinted at as early as 2018, when then Governor Jerry Brown revealed in a budget briefing that California would soon have the power to cut the existing government employees' pensions as a cost-saving measure. Imagine that. You getting they're talking about taking money out of your pension, something that you put in on. But since then, an increased hostility towards capitalism and attempts to pass off welfare costs onto businesses, most notably through a massive hike in the state's minimum wage, has chased money and opportunity away from California. A San Francisco McDonald's that had operated for over 30 years in the area was forced to close after the state raised the minimum wage to $20 per hour. A 55-year-old Hollywood Arby's suffered a similar fate, with countless more restaurants and small businesses also folding to the insurmountable labor costs. Another disturbing trend in company, the undoubtedly linked to the decline in business, is the rise in crime. It's terrible. As beautiful as California is, beautiful as that state is, I don't want to visit there anytime soon. High rates of violent and property crime have become hallmarks of California cities, where hobbled and demoralized police departments struggle to maintain law and order. The issue is so ubiquitous that even journalists reporting on crime have become victims of their subject matter. It's funny, but it's not funny. We've all seen the clip of the reporters reporting on crime, and then they get robbed out right on camera. I mean, it's crazy. You can't make this stuff up. Other massive problems plaguing the state include deadly drug epidemics and associated gang empowerment. Kawasaki doesn't see a light at the end of the tunnel for California, but instead hinted the state's problems will soon be suffered by other members of the union. We don't want to, and that's exactly what Kamala Harris and Waltz want to do: export California to the entire nation. But he said California is a bellwether state. That means what happens in California happens to the rest of us. The problem is California is going broke. California will begin raising taxes and cutting subsidies. Oh, so I already went over that part. Sorry. But, quote, since California is a bellwether state and is going broke, Kawasaki wrote, which state will follow? The Economist admitted he has abandoned California altogether, apparently seeing no bright future in the state, and I don't see it either. They keep voting these they vote these people in, they vote these policies in. I don't see California changing. It's the people. It's gonna go broke. They can't continue to do this. But, quote, I moved, he wrote. Take care. Wow. So the great Kawasaki even saying that, you know, California is not the place to be. It's a terrible state. The government ran it into the ground. It's not going to get any better. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.